Now, one of my least controversial opinions is that Batwoman is complete trash, and this is backed up in the ratings, where they started off somewhere around where Kate Kane did in an aeroplane at the start of season 2, and then just really plummeted off a cliff faster than the speed of light, faster than Barry Allen smashing into the floor. The thing is, this opinion of it being complete trash is from someone that's watched the majority of the CW shows. Even the really terrible ones through the really awful series, because I really do embody the national anthem, the national spirit of the UK, which is quite frankly, meh, that'll do. There are some people that have blamed Batwoman herself and the actresses involved, but I don't think so. I actually quite like Ruby Rose in several of her other parts. I thought she was really good in John Wick, where admittedly that was a non-speaking part, which is a definite advantage. But I think she could have played Batwoman well, especially if she'd done some bulking up, because admittedly as she appeared in the TV series, I probably had more muscle mass coming out of the womb than she did in the show. I'm just kind of of the opinion that if you want to play some kind of intimidating, muscular character, that, especially when they don't have any superpowers, you should probably lift some weights and at least make yourself look more intimidating than a paper bag does. But hey, maybe that's just me, a Batman. So I don't blame Batwoman or any of the actresses involved. I think they're doing the best they can with a terrible role. What are people I kind of do blame are the people in charge and the scriptwriters, because these are some terrible, terrible plots with some terrible plot points that we have. Then they just make you hate the main character. Oh, we're either going to play a victim, or, as in Kate Kane's case, we're just going to be a brutal murderer, where the only actual excuse we have for our actions is that, well, you know, I mean, Batman did it as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in a court case for murder, but other murders happen in the world, not the best defense, certainly not a moral one, and 100% not a legal one. Kate Kane, that's not an excuse, you psychopath. So, what we have is a terrible showrunner and terrible scriptwriters who, for some reason, don't seem to be getting replaced, or if they are replaced, they're just replaced with equally worse, not English, but we'll let it slide, equally bad or worse scriptwriters. And this is the main problem. You don't want to change Batwoman. You want to change the people making your stories. You want to change the people in charge of your show. If you ever want it to succeed, that's what you have to do. But there have been some good decisions made, such as when Ruby Rose decided that actually this entire thing is going down faster than the Titanic, I'm going to escape because I don't want my entire career ruined by this awful mess. It was a perfectly understandable decision that any sane person would have made, unlike the people entering the show. But what they did say is that despite Kate Kane leaving, we're not going to recast her. We're not going to do that. We're not going to touch her legacy. We're going to leave all of the stuff she's done, and we're going to respect her work and leave it as it is and not touch it and move on to another Batwoman. We're going to reboot the character so we don't have this terrible psychopath running around. We're just going to move on to a new character, and hopefully that one will be better. And it made sense. It made sense. And so they really had material like this, which was the crossover episode, where all of the CW superheroes, well, a lot of them, get together and they all fight some really big, evil, bad dude. And they work together, and I always think it's one of their better episodes. And so you had all the promotional images, and we're not going to touch any of that. We're not going to touch any of that. We're going to respect her. We're going to respect her as a woman. Well, that lasted a long time, because they then released this picture where, quite frankly, I don't know if you can notice the big, massive, gaping hole. That's not a euphemism. But they just kind of photoshopped her out, or I'm not sure whether they actually photoshopped this image, because there's even stuff which hasn't been changed over here, but the windows in the background are different. So either you photoshopped her out, or you just took multiple pictures because you were planning to remove her in the future. And I'm not sure if that's better or worse. But either way, they started going back on everything they said, which is kind of the what you'd expect of people with poor moral character. You know, the kind of people that think murder's justified if a man's done it. So I don't think it really says that much about the moral high ground, especially in a show which decides it's going to, I don't know, What I really want in my superhero shows is for some insane psychopath to lecture me about morality and how I should act in society and how we should restructure society for her morals rather than mine, when I haven't killed anyone in cold blood. Batwoman. Either way, these are people that manage to ruin a show about lesbians in leather fighting crime. I don't even know how that's like man-made for me. You couldn't have custom designed a better show for me, and yet you still ruined it for me. When I watch that kind of stuff all the time, you only had to beat the content of people whose budget is about a pack of chewing gum and whatever the actress gets paid. I mean, really. Rather than focusing on the problem, they've now replaced her. Yes, they replaced her with Wallis Day. An actress who did okay. Again, another show, Kyrpton. She was in Kyrpton. Again, she was all right. She was playing with the characters she'd got in another TV show that really wasn't very good. The problem is, I find, they don't actually focus on superheroes when they're actually in their mainstay, their main power base, when they're at their prime. Like, no. We're going to do a Superman show. Oh, really? Yeah. What we're going to do, we're going to do a Superman show where we don't have Superman in it. Oh no, we're going to travel back in time, and then we're going to set it on a planet where they came from before it was destroyed, because we want to save Superman. The thing is, when I want a Superman show, and this is going to be wild, this is really going to, like, when I'm talking about controversial opinions, this is going to be one of my most controversial opinions. But when I have a Superman show, when I want a Superman show, you know the one thing I want in that show? Superman. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we're going to make a show about Superman, and we're going to travel back in time and take it back to Kyrpton, where Superman left as a baby. And then we're going to completely remove Superman from it, and then everyone on Kyrpton, they're not going to have any superpowers. This is literally a superhero show about people who aren't super and aren't heroes. I mean, it's just, you couldn't write this stuff. She had that to work with, so I'm not going to judge her for that. I think she's probably a fine actress. I think she's going to do in this role the best that she can do. But whenever you do, you come back to the same problem. You come back to the problem that you are rearranging the chairs on a Titanic. You are trying to replace Kate Kane, who is a complete psychopath who thinks murder is okay because another man did it somewhere on Earth. And you've brought her back. Look, Kate Kane was better plummeting into the floor. Like your ratings. Oh. Even thinking about this stuff just makes your brain hurt. I have no idea what these people in charge are doing. So, look. If you can't make a good show, you should leave. If you can't write a good show, you should leave. If your ratings are plummeting off a cliff into the ground, stop blaming the actors. They're just mimicking the script. All they're doing is pretending for a living. But what they can't pretend is that the people writing this crap have any talent. Changing it won't help. And when you've got the people in charge going back on your word, when they start virtue signaling about, oh my God, I've got so much respect for women, I've got so much respect for everything that Ruby Rose has done. We're not going to touch her legacy because really, we really want to leave it in charge. We really want to leave it intact. Look, you can see what she's done. She's done great work. And although we've left on amicable terms because she thought I couldn't write a script, I'm going to leave her work intact because I respect women. That's what I do. I respect them so much. I really respect them. And then you start erasing her from history. Just leave a big gaping hole. Again, not a euphemism. Couldn't possibly comment on how gaping the hole is. Caroline Dries has come out and said that, oh, there's going to be a big twist. Oh, yeah, when she comes back and she looks completely different, and we're probably going to come up with some terribly poor excuse like, oh my God, she's had plastic surgery. Now, I've seen a lot of bad plastic surgery in my life. They exist quite often. very often in Hollywood, you can just look down as the ages get older, and you're like, you kind of look less and less like yourself. But they don't go from this to this. That doesn't happen. That's not a thing. If you want to do this, at least come up with some kind of magical reason for it. At least come out with some kind of scientific explanation. I don't even care if it sounds like BS. The Flash spouts loads of random nonsense all of the time, and you kind of go along with it because they use long words that you don't really understand, and it at least kind of sounds scientific. You can do that, but for the love of God, don't do, oh my God, she put on someone else's face. Batwoman has apparently been renewed for season 3. That was announced at one point, and then a few weeks back, everyone was going, actually, it's being axed. So I'm not sure where it is, because I don't know why you would bring back Kate Kane for half of a second season. Because it sounds like you're not really sure which Batwoman you're going to go for. Who knows? Maybe the second Batwoman will also only last for a season, and then for the third season, we're going to get this brand new one from Kyrpton coming down. Actually, if you did do the story where she was still actually from Kyrpton and it was the same character, and so she actually had Kryptonian superpowers and was Batwoman, that would have been cool. You could have done that. That's something that you could have done. I don't know if you can get the licenses for that. I don't know who actually made Kyrpton. I think it was another CW show. I'll have to check that out. But if you could have said that that was the same character, or even just hinted at it, that would have been good. If you could have come up with some twist like that, that would have been great. But you can't do that now because it's Kate Kane, duh. I mean, yes, she's crashed into the ground on an aeroplane, but I'm sure she's fine. Oh yeah, I'm sure she was watching this person in a van by the river all the time and deliberately left the batsuit for her. You probably go down that route. Yes. Oh no, we deliberately, we set it up because we knew how amazing you are, and we thought you needed to be powerful. Yeah, I bet you left it there deliberately for them. It was all planned. Everyone's like, oh my God, this is so coincidental that a plane crashes and the batsuit's just sitting there on the floor, just waiting for you, and you find it. I know, I was like, that was really bad storytelling. But no, you've got your plan. You've got your plan. You're like, no, I'm just trying to make you think I'm stupid. I'm going to make you think I'm a bad scriptwriter. Actually, Kate Kane came back from the dead as a completely different actress and planted it there, and it was all planned all along. A plot twist. That's not a plot twist. If you act like a bad scriptwriter, if everyone thinks you're a bad scriptwriter, and you write bad scripts, you're a bad scriptwriter. That's not you pretending. If no one can tell the difference between you and a bad scriptwriter, you're probably just a bad scriptwriter. You're not pulling some kind of five-head alteration. You're not tricking people. No one's impressed. I really hope that you, even though I just made up that story, I really hope you don't do that, because that would be awful. Although a Kryptonian superwoman, a Kryptonian super Batwoman, that could be a cool show. But we're not going to get that. I really want that now. Damn, I'm going to have to watch another episode when she comes back. I'm not even going to watch the in-between bits. I keep up with the reviews from Heel vs. Babyface. That's enough. That's enough torture for me. Watching somebody else get tortured watching the show is enough for me. I don't need to go through it myself. Oh my God, she's going to go through a journey. She murdered a guy. The only journey I want Kate Kane to go through is 15 years in prison to be rehabilitated and then released, so hopefully she can be a good member of society again. Because she had no reason to do it. It wasn't self-defense. And until she faces justice for what she's done, it doesn't matter who you replace her with. It doesn't matter what stories you do, because she's still evading justice. And you can't have a superhero who's evading justice, who's running around doing evil things, letting her sister off, who also goes off and murders people, and she doesn't do anything about it. She doesn't dish out justice to anyone, as long as they're in the same family, because that's the best person you can be. When superheroes are meant to be someone that you can look up to, they were meant to provide hope. They were meant to provide something that you could go, yes, that is a great person. They are helping people. That is the kind of people that we need. And then you look at Kate Kane, and she goes around murdering random strangers. She goes around murdering people on the floor when they're tied to a chair and helpless. They let their sister off, who goes off time and time again and murders more people, and then she finds her again, and she still doesn't do anything about it because, oh no, it's my sister. And don't you know that murder is apparently okay in the Bat universe as long as they're related to you? That's justice. That's morality. That's A-okay. Oh, yes. And that's the character you decide to bring back. You can put any face on that. It's still not going to help you. And so, as they rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic, as the ratings continue to plummet week after week after week, where no one's watching the show, but you keep getting renewed for another season. You keep switching out the main actors time and time again, faster than anyone can blink. Every few weeks, it's another Batwoman. That's not a good sign. And so that's it for now. If you like the video, press like, comment. Tell me what you think of Batwoman. Tell me what you think of the change and the actors involved. Keep it civil, keep it polite, and I will see you in the next one. Like and subscribe if you want more next week, and I will see you. Bye-bye.